Yeah, g'day, I'm Squish and welcome to my channel. This is where I share all of my delicious squishy yarn and crochet goodness. If you love yarn, you're in the right place. And if this is your first time here, welcome, thank you for stopping by, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. And to my returning subbies, welcome back, it's good to have you here. Today I have some WIPs to share, so let's get into it. This is my Party Cardi by Krista at The Secret Yarnery. It's basically a shortened campfire cardi made with two 6-sided granny stitch hexagons. So when folded it looks like this. Then both pieces are joined by single crocheting two sides together, which creates the back seam. From there, the arms and the front panels are extended to the length that I desired. And I wanted mine to be a bigger fit, so it's cozy with extra warmth in the front here. I also added length to the bottom, so it's more like a coat than an actual cardigan or jacket. And I made a couple of pockets with some front post stitching across the top there for a little bit of texture, and obviously I'm yet to sew those on, which is why it's a WIP and not a faux. I also added 4 buttons. These were a pack of 6 elephant buttons that I won in a giveaway here on YouTube, and the colours match my yarn perfectly, don't you think? Speaking of yarn, I used Ice Yarn Cyclamen, turquoise, salmon, yellow, orange, acrylic polyamide blend. It's very soft, squishy and a little bit fluffy textured yarn. It's so lovely and warm to wear, even though it's not completely finished, but I am loving it. I do think that it looks more like a hexi cardi now due to the length and the wide sleeves. Campfire cardis, hexi cardis, I don't think they have a hood, but this one does. So it's quite large and floppy, and I've learned that it's best to wear a crocheted ear warmer to stop it from sliding off my head. I used 28 of the 50-gram balls to complete this garment, and I have a little bit left over. This is my Chakra wall hanging, made with Ice Yarn's Lorena Worsted, which I revealed in my first unboxing video, and I've really enjoyed making this so far. So it's just basically granny squares joined together with chaining, and then down here is the more lacy part of it with, I think it was US treble crochets. And from here I need to add chains of each square's colour to the bottom here, so it will hang like this, like I've done here with the purple, and then they just hang down. I'm trying to work out a way to tie each chakra's crystal to the center chain of each colour, but I'm not sure if I should put the crystals at the top or at the bottom of the chains. What do you guys think? I found this tutorial on YouTube, Big Book of Crochet or something like that. Anyway, I'll link that below if you're interested in having a look at it. So nearly finished this one. Okay, this is my spiral granny blanket and another one of Krista's patterns. For this I have used Ice Yarn's Morella, colourway Rainbow. It's a mohair acrylic polyamide blend with the metallic lurex running through it. Isn't that pretty? For me, this yarn was my favourite, as it was the softest, squishiest and fluffiest yarn I had ever used, but that was until I used Picasso, my new favourite. It's still lovely though, and I have teamed it with our Lincraft brand, Maker, 100% acrylic DK yarn in white, so it really stands out. It's not even close to being as soft as the Ice Yarn's acrylics, but that was before I had bought any of their acrylic yarn. Anywho, this has been a WIP since April, believe it or not, and mostly because I'm not sure that I'm feeling it anymore. You know what I mean, right? I'm trying to decide whether to continue, you know, because it's a decent size, or just frog it. What do you guys think? I need help. This is probably my favourite WIP at the moment. It's a Cal running right now by Angela at the Crazy Poppy Lady. It's called the C2C Unicorn Blanket. I'm using a variety of ice yarns for this one as I wanted to bust my stash, because constant yarn buying can not only get out of control but expensive, right? Anywho, this is a classic C2C pattern, which I am loving, by the way. Actually, this is my second Grafgan. I'll put a pic of my first one here. I used a chunky yarn, so it went a lot quicker, but that was because it was only a yarn bomb piece, so it didn't have to be perfect. And I was pretty happy with it for my first go though, and I'd only been crocheting maybe only a few months. Anywho, I'm using Lorena Worsted, a cotton acrylic blend in the white. The purple, deep purple, is Wool Worsted 50, which is a wool acrylic blend, and the Picasso Rainbow, which is acrylic polyester blend for his feet. I know, don't mix your fibres, but that's what I had in my stash. I'm not sure of the finished size, but it looks like it may be cot size. And I've also learned a few tricks along the way too, which has given it a more polished look and less ends to weave in as well. So that's great, right? But looking at this, there's ends everywhere, and I'm not looking forward to doing that. I'd have to say this is the first project I've done that I have not weaved my ends as I've gone along, and I'm actually really regretting it now. So I'm coming to the end of video 3 as a 4-part series, so I'm almost there, yay. And Angela has been really great with, you know, questions, queries, updates about the pattern, so it's a really great pattern. Okay, so then I decided to give Tunisian Crochet a go. I started with the simple stitch. Easy enough, right? Well, my tension is good, but it's very tight. So I went up a couple of hook sizes and I like that better. You can see the difference there. So I can do this. Let's try a circle, right? Not bad. I had to rewatch the start of the wedge quite a few times to get the hang of it. So now I just need to stitch it together, and I'm going to make this one into a square and donate it to Kogo to make a part of a blanket. So then of course it was time to give the knit stitch a crack. So easy when you know how, and I enjoyed this one. My hook size was too small, so it curled up like a tube. So I'll play with this a bit more, but I do like the dense fabric that it makes. So then I thought, why not make a case or some sort of a cover holder for my Tunisian hooks. So I thought, okay, I used an 8mm hook to chain on. Then I went down to a 7mm, which made it a little bit tight in here. So then I went back up to the 8mm hook, and it's given it a little bit more stretch and bit of flexibility. So I'm just winging it as I go. I'm just doing the simple stitch with this, and then when it gets to be long enough, I'll just sort of fold it in half and, you know, make a tie or add a couple of studs, press studs or something like that to it. But get this, I've used my Cakes Air from Ice Yarns, and I didn't like this stuff at all. I don't like it. I don't like touching it. It's scratchy. Anyway, I did a review, so if you want to know about Cakes Air, you can watch that. I'll just link that below. But I found a use for my Cakes Air, and it's not so scratchy because guess what? I added it with our Motivera Starlight 8-ply, which is a very soft, it's also an acrylic, as well as, I think Cakes Air is a polyamide or acrylic polyamide blend, but this is a acrylic polyester blend, which gives it a really nice softness, and there's a bit of sparkle in it, right? So I've held the two strands together to create my holder, and I think it looks really pretty. I don't know if you can see that sparkle, but it's really pretty, and it's given the Cakes Air a softness. It's not as scratchy and rough as it used to be. So I'm really loving this. So if you've got Cakes Air out there and you don't know what to do with it, add a soft strand to it and make a blanket or something, because it really does soften it up. I was really impressed that this actually worked. and I really enjoy the colours, the way they sort of run. So yeah, really that turned out to be quite a surprise, just a bit of an experiment. It worked, so I'm just going on with it. So that's what's been happening in my hook nook here in southeastern Australia. What's happening in yours? Share in the comment section below. You may just give us some new ideas. So that's all I have for you until next time. Thanks for watching, happy hooking, and stay safe. Hooroo!